Colleagues, they will try and divide us and come with all manner of arrest. Every now and then, when their back is against the wall, they will come out with arrest. Please, we are a politician, now you're Chiwa and you're Bonnie. Yenjina Painting Chair Dr. Bawumia and win power 2028. Don't let them.
Live on Zimbo TVGH News in our studio here at Dabala Junction, I am Peter Nate Agboyoma, and let's settle for the details of our storylines. And it first has to do with the President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, who was speaking at the Accra Reset Addis Reckoning event in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, saying we are going to stop foreign funding for purchase of our cocoa in Ghana.
Since we've taken is that we're going to stop foreign funding for the purchase of our cocoa. We are going to raise domestic bonds. We have enough CDs in Ghana to pay for our cocoa. We're going to raise domestic bonds, buy our own cocoa. We don't need to collateralize the beans. We have the capacity to process 400,000 tons of those beans, processing capacity in Ghana. But because the beans are collateralized, we cannot even allocate those beans to the local processors. We have to ship all the beans outside. Now, if we buy the beans ourselves, we can take 400,000 tons out of the beans and give to our local processors to add value. That is what the Accra Research is about.
He says by 2030, no raw minerals oil will leave Ghana, which must be processed here at locally based. He said this is the only way that we can provide opportunity for the young people.
I say by 2030, there are not going to be any raw mineral oils leaving Ghana. You're not going to ship manganese oils out of Ghana raw. You're not going to ship bauxite oil out of Ghana raw. You're not going to ship iron ore out of Ghana raw. You must process all that locally.
The minority leader, Afenyo Makin, says that NPP rallies members at the party's national Thanksgiving service, calling for them not to be intimidated against any arrest.
Colleagues, they will try and divide us and come with all manner of arrest. Every now and then, when their back is against the wall, they will come out with arrest. Please, we are a politician, now you're Chiwa and you're Bonnie. Yenjina Painting Chair Dr. Bawumia and win power 2028. Don't let them intimidate you with arrest.
Away from that, DO2 Desmond Aka, head of public relations at the Ghana National Fire Service, says not until traders and market managers cooperate fully to enforce fire safety protocol, we are going to continue facing these fire challenges.
It is a requirement for every shop owner to have a fire extinguisher. You go to the trader, she tells you, oh, business is not good, and therefore probably give me some time to be able to raise money to buy an extinguisher. You can't, for human face reasons, you can't just close the shop down because the person has failed to acquire a fire extinguisher. So you give the person that room, and by which time a situation happened. So who is to be blamed? So we need to be able to come to terms that once we have gotten the financial muscle or the wherewithal to go and rent a shop, it is our responsibility to acquire these life-saving gadgets to protect our investment. So not until the traders, not until the market managers come to terms with these simple facts, we are going to have challenges even enforcing, some of these safety protocols. So we believe that with the education, with the intensified efforts and the collaborations that I've already talked about, we should be able to nip some of these issues in the bud.
The president of Greater Accra Markets Association, Honorable Mercy Afrowa Ningen, has called for inclusive post-fire investigations that engage market leadership and traders, emphasizing collaborative solutions to prevent reoccurring fire incidents.
When there is a fire outbreak, there should be proper investigation, including the market leaders and some of the people picked from the market, so that they can also give out their version and suggest what can be done to make the problem very minimal.
So you've never been engaged in the investigation process before?
We do attend their meetings, but investigation, no.
Have they given you any reports before about a fire outbreak that after investigation this is what you came up with?
I think it is the government that gives them work. So they will give their report to the government. If there's something they want us to know, they will organize a meeting for us.
Has that been done before?
Yes, okay. That's what they have done. They have been coming even into the market to talk with us, to discuss issues with us. But the problem is, all that I'm saying, always it happens in the midnight. So you just can't say it is the fault of this, it is the fault of that. Last time there was one issue where they say somebody was selling acacia. I just don't know. Was selling acacia. And the person have packed the acacia in the room and locked. So those around came to report. And we also reported to AMA. And they came and asked the person to remove if you want to sell this thing, this is where you can sell it. In the market, you just can't. So we are all doing our best, even involving our monies to organize task forces so that our goods can be saved.
The flag bearer of the new patriotic party, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, has called on party members to forgive one another for grievances arising from the recent campaign season, stressing the importance of unity as the party reorganizes for the future. Speaking at the National Thanksgiving Service at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, UPSA, on Sunday, February 15, 2026, Dr. Bawumia appealed to party faithful to put aside hate caused by heated campaign exchange. He said, let's forgive each other for some of the unpalatable things we may have said during the election cycle. The exercise of healing isn't yet complete, but we have started well.
On this day, as we celebrate and give thanks together, I want to ask all of us from the bottom of my heart to forgive each other for some of the unpalatable things we may have said against one another during this election cycle. I have been encouraged by the efforts I have seen many of you make to reach out to your brothers and sisters after the election. And though I know the exercise of healing isn't completed yet, I believe we have started well, and I commend all patriots for the steps taken so far. I would like to, at this juncture, also thank all church leaders, including all charismatic church leaders, for their support, advice, and constant prayers that contributed significantly to the peace and success of the contest. We are encouraged by the knowledge that going forward, we can continue to count on their constant prayers.
Dr. Bawumia tells NPP members to put in the work to ensure the party wins the 2028 general election, saying victory in 2028 will not be gifted to us. It must be earned.
What is left of healing and uniting will come by acknowledging where each went too far, telling ourselves the truth, and still choosing to walk together. Healing will not come from silence. It will come from speaking up on what binds us together and working towards it. As a family, we have more that binds us together than what we differ on. What we have to do is to deepen our concentration on what we have in common and put less emphasis on what we differ on. The road ahead will demand discipline, sacrifice, and hard work. Victory in 2028 will not be gifted to us. It must be earned, constituency by constituency, household by household, with humility and purpose.
President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, has called for a unified African position on the legacy of slavery and racialized chattel enslavement, describing it as the gravest crime against humanity. He made the remarks during a press conference at the African Union AU Summit on Sunday, February 15. Addressing journalists, President Mahama stressed that slavery is prohibited under international law as a preparatory norm, from which no derogation is permitted. He explained that Ghana's proposed resolution on the matter is anchored on three pillars. 1. Historical accuracy, legal defensibility, and continental and diaspora's alignment. He says repatriations will not be handed to us like political independence. They must be accepted. We must pursue truth and build unity to secure them.
National reparations commissions, advanced continental legal frameworks on cultural, economic, and financial reparation, and other measures. Reparatory justice will not be handed over to us like political independence. It must be asserted, it must be pursued, and secured through determination and unity. The decision to adopt a decade of reparations marks a strategic shift from a time-bound observance to a sustained global commitment. Mr. Chairman, the draft UN resolution titled Declaration of the Trafficking on Enslaved Africans and Radicalized Racial Chattel Enslavement of Africans as a Greatest Crime Against Humanity is going to be moved by Ghana on the floor of the General Assembly on March 25th this year. The resolution has been submitted to this assembly for endorsement in order that Africa speaks with one voice on that global platform. And I'm pleased to announce that several CARICOM countries and other of our allies have endorsed this resolution. And so I urge this assembly to pass the resolution for tabling at the UN General Assembly on March 25th. I thank you.
Ending our news broadcast is the President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama.